Hey everyone, welcome on. Today we are talking about unlocking the key to multi streams of income, and we're talking to Alyece Smith. Alyece is one of my favorite people. We are business besties. We met each other 2 years ago, maybe not quite 2 years ago, but
Oh, it's been maybe a year. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Time flies, right? I feel like it's dog years with
Yeah.
entrepreneurship, but but y'all, Alyece, she is such a powerhouse. She empowers entrepreneurs implementing simple systems in order to like humanize their brand and just scale their businesses. And she's so good at what she does. And I really wanted to bring her on today to talk about multi streams of income and kind of creating that financial success for yourself because she's really good at it. Um, the average millionaire has at least seven streams of income. I'm working to get there, not quite yet.
Yeah.
Um, so for me, like I thought about it, I'm at about three streams that I'm like actively building. How about you, Alyece?
So this is always a tough question because I consider, if you consider affiliate marketing, if you consider each opportunity I'm an affiliate for, it could be somewhere like 13 or 14 streams. But if we just bucket it, I would say I have about six right now.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Mhm.
So share with us a little bit like how you got started on the entrepreneurial journey because I know you've been in sort of marketing and branding for a while, but as you transitioned into your own thing, what did that look like for you?
Yeah. And the reason I say we've only known each other a year is because I just quit my job a year ago. So I wasn't even in the online space until June of 2022. But like a lot of people in the online space, I actually started in network marketing like 12 years ago, right? Like way back in the day when Facebook was the only thing and I didn't have a clue what I was doing and I just wanted an extra like 300 bucks a month, right? And like that's where my like entrepreneurial spirit started. And I was in and out. I was not consistent. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have good leadership. And I changed companies quite a few times, like a lot of other people, just trying to find my way, but it always was a spark, and it was always something that I had in the back of my mind, like, why can't it be me? Like, why can't I be the one making six figures from my cell phone, right? So about a year ago I was with a health and wellness company, and I really that it started being ignited, that flame started being ignited. And the more I looked at like things going on in my 9 to 5 job, because I was doing social media marketing and digital marketing for a very large franchise in the quick service food industry. And the more I like saw things going on in my job, that made me feel like I was missing out on things with my kids, or I asked for $1 an hour raise and I was declined, even though we all know the cost of living had increased so much. I really just wanted another $1 an hour so that I could pay for aftercare for my kid because he was going to a program for his autism and they got out at 2. Well, what do? I work till 5, So I was having to spend an extra 40 bucks a week for aftercare, and I just wanted to be able to cover that cost. So that was one strike, right? Well, then when I started looking for, he was moving into school, I started looking for after school therapy options. They did not exist. So you had to bring him during the day. And I'm like, I can't. I have a meeting. I have a job, right? Strike two. So all of these strikes started lining up. And in at the same time that I was starting to grow my network marketing business, and I'm like, man, if I could just, I saw these leaders in that industry making life changing money. And I'm like, why can't it be me? So all of that was happening at the same time. And eventually it just combusted. I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't miss out on all these things for my kids. I'm not going to choose my child's healthcare after my job. I just won't do that. I was like, I'll quit. We'll figure it out. I'll work at Walmart at night, like whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And then I knew there was opportunity out there. I just had to figure it out. I
Mhm.
started looking in Fiverr and Upwork and all these other sites too, seeing people doing the same thing I was doing at my job. We're making 3 times as much an hour. And I'm like, what is going on? So corporate America just wasn't, I realized quickly it wasn't for me. And so I turned my 2 weeks in. Well, actually, I turned 4 weeks and it ended up turning into about two. But I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that something inside of me just said, you got to figure it out. Right. I mean, what's the
Mhm.
worst case scenario? You go back to work. Like, that's just worst case scenario. So I did. I left my job 1 year ago And I knew I had skills. I did, like I said, I did social media marketing for them. And I figured, you know what, I'll just figure it out. So I started, like a lot of online entrepreneurs, Googling, like, what can I do? How can I do it? I was just going to freelance. I wasn't going to, stress about having like a whole company. And I stumbled upon the same business coaching program that you and I are in. And yeah, it's just kind of blossomed from there. And I think implementing things quickly is what has helped it propel for me rather than like, I'll do this tomorrow. I'm like, I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna stay up till midnight. I'm gonna do it tonight. And I know that's not for everybody, but that's probably been what's helped me develop from where I was a year ago till now, because it's been
Yeah.
a lot. It's been a lot in a year for sure.
Oh, yeah, you have legit hyper speeded like all of your success and everything because I know that, I was kind of moving at a snail's pace
Yeah.
whenever I first started in the coaching program that we're both in. And then I saw you come in and you were just like Zoom. And I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, what's this girl doing? And the only thing different that you were doing was you were taking action every single day. And yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it was like really messy action, and you would come back to, the next week to our accountability Zooms, and you would be like, okay, you guys, kind of fucked up, but like
Yeah.
this is what also worked. So, you'd see both. And that's the thing that really I've been really resonating with a lot of my coaching clients and just a lot of the trainings lately is go take action because until you do, you're just guessing. You're just guessing
Yeah.
what's going to work, what's going to make you money, what's going to feel aligned. You're never going to know unless you just fucking try.
Right.
Um, and so, yeah, I was so inspired to see you move so quickly and not necessarily find crazy, unheard of success along the way, but finding those milestones of like, I found this thing that works. Oh, I
Yeah.
also found this other thing that doesn't work. Okay, let's learn from it. Let's pivot, and
Right.
that's so powerful when you're on that journey, whether you're building a whole business or you're just like getting into affiliate marketing or you're just doing sort of these things along the way. Um, how did you actually, so when you were ready to, right, you quit your job, you're ready to start your business, you're not sure if you want the full like agency or, the full
Right.
business. Were you thinking multi streams of income from the get go, or was that something that sort of stumbled upon along the way?
No, so that was not even in my wheelhouse or anything so when I originally got into the coaching program, because that was one thing, guys, if you're listening and you're like stuck or you don't have a coach, get a coach. I know it's an expense. But I sat at my desk trying to do it all by myself in June and some of July, right? I'm like watching YouTube videos until I pass out at my desk. There were several nights my husband would wake me up and be like, "Are you coming to bed? Like you're sleeping on the desk." Because I was like, I kind of when I left my job, I didn't have a backup plan, right? So I was like, I got to figure this out. And it was really connected to my why I was doing it. So that was helpful to motivate me. But um, in mid-July of last year, I ran into a free challenge, Facebook Profit Secrets Challenge with Kimberly Olson. And, they said something in there where basically just that you could either spend 5 years trying to figure this out and do it on your own. You're going to waste a ton of money, probably. And if you value your time as money, then you're definitely going to waste a ton of money. Or you could hire a coach and propel that success. And that was what resonated with me. And I jumped in the coaching program. And then as I was doing that, like I said, I was just going to work hourly. Like, hey, if I could just replace my salary, then we're good. Right. So I was doing that for a while until I had a one-on-one with the coach that I had gotten from paying in full for the program. And she was like, this is an entire business. Like, you got to treat it like a business and, move from there. So as I started doing that and I started treating it like a business, I saw how many expenses came in, right? So I got to pay for my email marketing platform. I got to pay for this or that. And so then I was looking at, okay, if I could be an affiliate for some of these programs, they would pay for themselves. So that's
Mhm.
kind of how I got into affiliate marketing. Was like, okay, if my email software is $90 a month, if I just refer two people, and TikTok actually was one of the ways that I really started adapting multiple streams because I saw people promoting like so many different things,
Yeah.
like softwares and programs and courses. And I'm like, okay, so they're promoting a lot of things just with video, and I could do that. And so I
Mhm.
started doing that, and then have just gotten to a point now where every time I get I say a chunk of cash, but like there's some money left at the end of the month kind of thing. I'm like, okay, what can I do with this that's going to help 10x it? That's going to make more.
Mhm.
What can I invest this in? Because we all know the stock market's not doing 100% right now that we want. All of these other traditional investments. What other business could I get that's going to help bring that in? So, and I was in network marketing, so that was an additional stream. So,
Yeah.
no, it was, to answer the question, it was not on my radar until I tried it and saw it working. And then I've just been like, okay, what's another stream? What's another stream? And now, when I do partner with a software or I get a program or a course, that's one of the first things I look for. Do they have an affiliate option? Because ultimately I'm teaching my audience all of the things that I know. So why not teach them what I know and pair it with a resource that, you know, could, could benefit?
Yeah, and that's it's perspective, right? You just didn't know to look for it in the
Right.
beginning, but the moment you saw the opportunity and you recognized that, you were like, "Oh, there's something here. I'm not familiar with it, but who cares about that? I'll figure it out
Right.
along the way."
Right.
Um, and I think that's what's so important about this kind of journey. If you're looking to get into entrepreneurship, if you're looking to bring on multiple streams of income, you just have to be open to figuring it out. Like, not every opportunity is going to bring you a huge injection of cash. That's
Right.
okay. Maybe it's a couple bucks here and there, but maybe it's a platform that you're using every day and you've never even thought about just sharing that with someone else and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
this helps me make my business streamline and like work a little better." Maybe it would do the same for you.
Most of the time for me, it's how can I get my ROI back as fast as possible? So I purchased a course this weekend. You helped me with a fabulous landing page and funnel system. And my first thing was, how am I going to get my money back immediately? Well, I knew if I referred one person, well, two, because I spent a little money on like the email system and stuff. If I just referred two people, I would get my money back immediately. And I
Yeah.
did in 24 hours. I started, a cleaning business, and that was the first thing I said was, how can I get my money back immediately? And I knew with the commission opportunity, if I referred 7 people, I would get my money back immediately. So I did. And then that's what for me is always about, how can I get my ROI back? And of course, it helps other people in the long run, even down to my earrings. I'm an affiliate for the
Yeah.
earrings. Like, yeah, and I know that if I sell X amount of dollars a month, then I get X amount of credit to buy my own earrings. Like, it's just for me, it was just that business mindset of how can I get my ROI back?
Yeah. I love that. And that really is important too, because it's not always about, okay, is this thing going to make me a millionaire? It's like, no, let me just
Right.
get my money back, because then it relieves so much of
It
the
does.
pressure from
It does.
having just spent that money. And you're like, cool, now I can just see what I can do with this. What's
Happen.
the
Right.
possibility?
Exactly. It's about release, like you said, it's like about releasing it,
Mhm.
and not having that guilt of, oh, I spent this or oh, I spent that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's really what it's about.
Yeah. And so I actually, whenever Alyece and I went on a business retreat back in May, she had mentioned to me this passive income business for the cleaning service. And it was very like, you weren't even trying to sell me on it. We were just having conversation.
Yeah.
And what she had said about, getting her ROI back immediately and the potential for income and all the things. And me and Adam, we've been thinking of ways like, how do we actually use the money we have to make more money, right?
Right.
That are outside of those quote unquote traditional ways of investing money. And also knowing that, if we don't have enough liquid cash, then some of the investment opportunities you want to do are a little bit out of reach and make a little harder, like investing in real estate, for example. So you have to get a little creative. And so whenever you had mentioned to me the cleaning company, and I'm like, whoa, 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 pause for a minute. We need to talk this out a little. What is this thing?
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys, let Sarah tell you about it. So shoot her a DM and let her introduce you to it, because, like you just mentioned with real estate, that's on my goal for 2024. I want to get into real estate, whether it be us buying an Airbnb property or a commercial rental property, something like that is something I want to do. But like you said, I don't necessarily have 50,000 to 100,000 liquid cash that I could go drop for a down payment. So if I get this other stream of income up and running to $5,000 a month, then I bring that to the bank and say,
Yeah.
hey, loan me the money for this property because I can prove that I've got an income stream that's going to pay for it. And so sometimes it is about those building blocks. Maybe I want to get a condo in Destin, Florida, but I don't have the money for it. Okay, what income stream can I start that's going to cover those expenses?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how my brain works is, covering the expenses of something, and then everything after that's just gravy, right? So, and then I'm buying an asset that's going to appreciate like a house. So
Mhm.
that was exactly why I started the cleaning business, because it's going to buy me an Airbnb. And I
Yeah.
actually bought a second one because, like you said, you talked to Adam about it. I'm not very good about talking to my husband about things. I just do them because when
I
I
mean, I
talk to
do that too, but
him, he's usually like, "Yeah, whatever you think, hon," because I do all of
yeah.
our financial stuff. So like, he's just like, "I support you. You're good, whatever." But when I brought this up to him, he saw opportunity of maybe something that he could take charge with entrepreneurially, because he does logistics and he does project management type stuff that we're paying for essentially with this business. And so we bought a second location because we were like, you know what? Let's just go all in on two. I'd already made my money back on the first one, so might as well do
Yeah.
another one. And then potentially when I make my money back on the second, I'm gonna buy a third. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
keep doing that because with each Airbnb cleaning business, I can buy another real estate property. So like, it's not about, oh, I'm gonna make $5,000 a month and I'm gonna finally get that Louis Vuitton I want. I'm gonna go buy a new car, and like, sure, that's great. Treat yourself. 100% agree with that. But you've got to think about, how can I make this money make more money?
Yeah.
Take a little bit out for your fun things, but that is the key to multiple streams, is how can I make this money make more money?
Yes. Yeah. And that's exactly it. That's how simple it really can be when you have that perspective and that frame of mind of like, yeah, it's fantastic. Treat yourself, always pay yourself first, right? When you're making money. But always, what is that little bit left over? Even if it's just, 20 bucks, what are you going to do with that $20? Or what are you going to invest it in that's going to make that $20 be 40, 60, 80, 100
Right.
bucks? Like,
Yeah.
what
And
is that? So,
100%. I mean, that's what,
and
like, the course I launched this week. That's
yeah,
another thing. I said, I'm going to take half of everything I make with that and put it towards a she shed, which you and I talked about, because I need a new office space. And that she shed's a tax write off. So you got to think about it like that. Like, okay, if I buy that she shed, it's going to help me on my taxes. And then I'm not
mhm,
going to have to deplete all of my cash to go buy it, because some of those things are like, they could be kind of hefty.
yes,
And then, so like, you got to really start that business mindset. And if you don't have that business mindset, that's okay. I have the business mind. I'm not a visionary. So sometimes I struggle envisioning what can happen, but go hire someone to help you.
mhm,
And that's been some of my key to success as well, is not spending a lot of my time doing things that I'm not good at.
mhm,
Pay the money to hire them out, because they're going to ultimately, I value my time as a dollar amount. So ultimately, if I spend 25 hours on a project and I value myself at $300 an hour, how much did that really cost in the long run?
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's huge too. And so, as someone who's like listening to this that maybe has, you know, their corporate job and like that's the only stream of income, what is your advice for like what are some practical steps and strategies to get them started for where do I look? What do I really like? How do I get that process going? Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of different things that you can start for very low costs. So I would definitely pick something probably low investment to get started in, whether it be network marketing, affiliate marketing. You can get some, really good affiliate marketing courses or coaching for $1,000. You could start affiliate marketing with $0. You really could, but you got to grow your audience and things like that. And a lot of times people don't know how to do that. So you're going to want to get coaching, or at least watch some trainings on how to do that. Network marketing is a good place to start too, because a lot of times that comes with the support that people need. Ultimately, you have to make the decision of how successful you're going to be. But I would start in either one of those.
Mhm.
Or check out, depending on your skill set, you could check out Upwork and Fiverr and do some side jobs there. Something you can do, after work. I used to actually, when I was in network marketing and still at my 9 to 5, I would work 30 minutes in the parking lot before I walked in the building, an hour on my lunch break, and then, an hour at night. So I would find 2.5 hours a day to work my business.
Yeah.
And it took time, but you can easily, in those three categories, build it up to an extra $500 a month. Well, then you take that $500 and you, like I said, you go hire a coach, or you go and invest in something. You can start something like the Airbnb cleaning business. You might have to have a payment plan. Sometimes you can't be afraid to spend money. That's one thing. You have to really learn that money is an energy, because for me, that's been, I think, been one of the reasons that I have been so successful, is because sure, the first investment I made into coaching, I almost threw up at my desk, and I had butterflies in my stomach for 3 months. Like, oh my God, how am I going to pay this off? But it held me accountable. I got to show up in my business every day to pay that bill. I got to, and when people pay for things, they have a little skin in the game. So they're
Mhm.
more likely to show up. So that was probably the best thing I did, because then I actually spent more on coaching and more on coaching and more on coaching. And every time I've spent a chunk on coaching, my business has accelerated with that. So now I feel like, of course, I love having a coach. I love having that access. But I feel like if I didn't have a coach right now, I probably would still have success, because
Mhm.
I've learned so much until my next breakdown or next leveling up point, and I go get a coach again. So to circle back to the question, I would find something that you are comfortable doing. So either affiliate marketing, network marketing, or freelancing, and just start doing it. Stop
Yeah.
waiting on the stars to align. Stop waiting on it to be perfect, and just start doing it. And then when you start making profit, level up, level up,
Mhm.
level up, and keep doing that, because it's going to hold you accountable.
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely attest to the scare factor of like, oh
Yeah.
shit, I just spent so many thousands of dollars. Oh, whoa. Like that feeling is scary, but you're so right. It makes the whole experience, it makes that decision that you just made so much more real, because
Yeah.
then you're just like, okay, I 100% am going to make this work. No excuses whatsoever. And yeah, it might take me, you're not going to get your ROI maybe in 24 hours, like some of these other opportunities,
Right.
but it means that you're committed and that you're going to level up and all the things. And oh man, it's just so cool to see that evolution happen in general. And if you guys don't already know, Alyece and I are actually partnered in the same network marketing business. And she is like the upline of uplines with our team, because she wasn't afraid to talk about something she was passionate about.
Yeah.
And, if you want to think about network marketing as a quote side hustle, honestly, I would really, really have you consider like how much money do you actually want to bring in every month as another stream of income? Because that's going
Yeah.
to directly reflect how much work you're going to put into it. When people say, oh, build it in 15 minutes a day, I'm sorry, that's not true. Like, that's
Right.
just not
Right. Right.
you
Not
might
to a level that you think you're going to get, not to that level that you're going to get
no,
success that you see others have.
yeah,
Um, and one thing too about spending large chunks of money, and I promise I'm not on here to like tell anybody to go into serious debt. Obviously, at your own risk, but you get comfortable spending that amount of money. I
yeah.
think, because my first coaching program was $10,000. I think I might have paid 8,500, because I ended up paying it. I paid it full because I was forced to cash out my retirement when I left my job.
Mhm.
But I got comfortable with that. And ultimately, if I have a long-term goal of buying Airbnbs and I can't even spend $8,500 without puking, like, you got to work up to that, right? If that's
Yeah,
really a goal that you have in the long run, that's something that has to be a building block. So I got comfortable spending 8,500. Then I got comfortable spending 15,000, and then I got comfortable spending 36,000. And so maybe by the time I'm ready to buy my Airbnb, I'll just be like, here you go, here's 100 grand. I don't know,
yeah,
but that's something too, that it is. Don't compare yourself to where other people are. It takes time for me. I mean, sometimes
Mhm.
I still get ill spending $700 at Sam's on groceries. Like it just, so you just have to work your way into that. And like Sarah said, especially with things like network marketing, you do have to treat them like a business. If you treat them like a hobby, you're going to get the same results you get out of the hobby. So it's definitely something you've got to commit to. And the more time you can commit to it, the more success you're going to have. So I tell my team a lot in the chat and things like that. Like these businesses are built on weekends, and that might not be what you want to hear. You might want to take the weekend off, but when you're trying to build a business, it's built on the weekend. Spend a year worth of weekends, take a few off, but spend a year worth of weekends building a business so that you don't have to work on weekends anymore after that.
Yeah.
So you do have to have some time commitment to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
And if anybody listening to this has considered network marketing and maybe you've tried it and failed, maybe you didn't have a lot of success the first go of it. Maybe it's something that's been on your radar, but you're kind of afraid because of the whole idea of network marketing is like not super. Whenever I first was introduced to it, I had that really bad stigma of what network marketing is, just because I was around, the people I was raised around and whatnot. Nobody ever talked about it being an actual option. And so it kind of came out of left field for me. And all of a sudden I was in it and I'm like, what the heck is going on here? But the more and more I started to discover the sheer possibilities, like you mentioned earlier in this, the life changing money that people can
Yeah,
make. And not
yeah,
only the life changing money, but the life changing connections.
yeah, yeah.
That is worth a lot.
And I mean, no income claims here. And I mean, of course, if you're listening and either are in network marketing and you aren't feeling aligned with your company, because that's actually why I left. When I started with our new company in February of this year, it wasn't because I needed the money. My agency and my consulting and coaching was already making multiple six figures. I was looking for connection and clarity and a community because ultimately my business Socially Awesome is just me, right? So I wanted to be connected to people. I wanted to network with people. So that was my reason. But 12 years ago when I got into my first company, it was for money. I needed $300 a month. So if you're listening, reach out to Sarah, let her introduce you to what we have our hands on here, because this is a big opportunity. And I'm excited that we're in it together, and we're in it at the beginning.
Hmm.
But part of being in it at the beginning is, I was able to reach the top 3% of the company in about 4 months because I wasn't afraid to share it with people. I couldn't have probably done that a year ago because I didn't have the audience that I have now. So that shows that it does take time. It doesn't happen overnight. But I made 2 times just in that. That's just one of my streams of income, and I doubled my corporate salary the last 3 months. So what I was making a year ago, I'm making double from just this one stream of income. I still have my coaching, consulting, courses, affiliate marketing, all of that. So
Yeah.
it proves that multiple streams of income are important, but then also, giving it time and being consistent. Because if I had introduced this to people a year ago, like I said, I wouldn't have had the success I had now because I wouldn't have known half the people I know now. So stop putting a time limit on your opportunities of saying, I got to reach this in 30 days. It's not
Yeah.
going to happen that way. It's not. And
Yeah.
it did happen quickly for me this time. But like I said, it was only because of the work I've put in the last year.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened a
Right.
year ago. So I was a different person a year ago. So
Oh, absolutely. Same. And that's the thing too that I think a lot of people forget is what is happening right now in your life is really the result of like the past 90 days
yes,
of
yes,
who you've been being, the work you've been doing, the attention, the intentions you've been having, like all of that from the last 60 to 90 days is what has now come to fruition today.
yeah,
So be very mindful about like what are you doing today that your future self is going to be like, thank you. Thank
yeah,
you. Now I'm making double my salary. Now I'm, whatever. And it may not happen in 90 days,
yeah,
obviously. But yeah, I mean, like Alyece, if you go back to my socials 3 years ago, I am a ghost. Like I am non-existent. There's
yeah,
the occasional, we went on vacation. Here's some photos.
yeah,
Um, that's it. Now I'm on every single day and I figure out, ways to work smarter, not harder, and not actually be on every single day. But,
Yeah,
but,
no,
you
serious.
know, so what I wanted to kind of wrap up with too, with the multi streams of income, kind of twofold. How do you go about having multi streams of income without stretching yourself too thin? And in that same vein, how do you sort of select what is right for you to kind of align with your passions? Like, how important do you think that piece of it is?
So, first question, as far as like, how do I market all the different things without stretching myself thin? So, um, I don't actively promote every single one of them every day, because then I would be, one, confusing the heck out of my audience, and then two, it would definitely stretch myself thin. So a lot of times, if I like a lot of my affiliate opportunities, I put them in my link tree, my link in my bio, whatnot. When I chat about them, like I'll give you an example. So Rhonda Madrid, affiliate for her, someone will comment every so often on my photo or my live or whatever and say, "Oh my God, these earrings are great." And I'll say, "They're Rhonda Madrid. Check out the link in my bio to get a coupon from me." Like, it doesn't mean that you have to always be promoting
Yeah.
things. Now I just launched something this week, so I'm actively promoting that one thing this week. And then I like to sprinkle it into all of my content. So if you and I are doing a live together and we're talking about email marketing, I'll say,
Mhm.
"Hey, look, if you're interested in the platform that I'm using, drop me, email in the comments and I'll share with you." That's another stream of income right there, because I'm asking, "Hey, if you want to know what I use, I could share it with you." Um, Network marketing is probably the most engaged, because you have a whole team.
Yeah.
But a lot of these other ones are just sprinkled in, they're passive. I listen to my audience. That's probably the biggest thing. So if my audience tells me that they want to learn about email marketing, I sit down, I plan, a training around it. And then I say, what affiliate, and not to say what's in it for me, but what can I offer them as
Yeah.
well? Because a lot of times an affiliate link, you might get a discount,
Mhm.
you might have a coupon, something like that. So I pair things together based on what my audience is interested in at that time. And then how important is it to me? I mean, it's been a game changer, guys. It's been a game changer, and it's very important for me to continue to grow, because you have to learn how to pivot quickly in social media marketing. So there's things that I've promoted and then they've died, or I'm like, okay, this isn't working for me anymore. Let's pivot, move on, and that's okay. That's okay to do, because you are the owner of your business. So I get to make those changes. But every time like I said, every time I sign up for a course, or I work with someone, or even I just use some sort of different platform, I look for an affiliate opportunity. It's important to me, because I am going to refer people. I because I'm networking so much, I am constantly telling people what I do, what I use, what works for me, and I want to have the opportunity to earn an income doing that.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think
I
that's
mean, it's inevitable that someone's going to be like, "How did you do this thing? Where did you find, whatever?"
yeah,
Like,
all
someone's
the
going
time.
to ask you.
Yeah, yeah. I like, that's where, like I said, I launched something this week and people were like, "Oh my gosh, your landing pages look great." And so I'm gonna say, "Sarah did them. Let me send you to her." I mean, that's just part of it, and
Yeah.
it's part of networking. So it's really important to me to know, because one, it helps me make an income. But two, it helps other people make an income. So when I refer someone to something, like I say, "Hey, look, I use Active Campaign for my
Mhm.
emails, and they have a great affiliate program." So I let other people know, "Hey, this is what I use, and you can make an income doing it."
Yeah.
So it's also a way for me to keep my audience up to date on how they can make multiple streams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's yes, of course, there's something in it for you, but there's something in it for them too. And
Yeah,
if they're going to be utilizing platforms anyways, like, yeah, why not make a couple
yeah,
extra bucks? And I think, like you said, it's okay. Like, you don't need permission from anyone else to drop an affiliate program that isn't working for you, or to
right.
make a change and pivot a little bit. Like, it really, you've got to be okay with listening to yourself when it comes to starting those income streams and maybe pivoting those income streams.
Yeah,
Like, change is inevitable, so like roll with it. It's
yeah,
only going
there's
to
a
do you
lot.
good.
There's a lot of them that I don't actively promote because the commission might be $3 or
Yeah.
$4. Is that really worth my time promoting? No. But someone's going to ask. I get asked all the time. I was looking, I got a new phone, but I get asked all the time, how do I, film my reels? And with lighting or whatever. And I have a flip stick on the back of my old phone. So I would tell people I use a flip stick. Check out my link in my bio. It's in there. I get like $3 every time somebody buys one. So is it worth me spending hours making content around? No.
Yeah.
But it's nice when someone orders a flip stick and I'm like, oh, I got $6. I can go treat myself to a coffee today. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, it really is just having that as an option.
Yeah. And that's the thing, options. I saw you post, this was probably a couple weeks ago at least, especially at the time of like, everyone seeing this. But I saw you make a post on your page about options. Like just give yourself options. Get out of your own way and stop living paycheck to paycheck. And there's so many, like the sheer amount of opportunities out there is insane,
Yeah, it
insane.
is.
Like more now than even 2, 3 years ago,
Oh,
because
yeah.
everybody's living online and commerce has just boomed, ever since the pandemic. So think about like, what are the things you do every single day in your life? Who do you buy that thing from? Do they
Yeah.
have an affiliate program? Like those are the questions you should be asking yourself. That's like the,
Yeah, and you just have to have grit and grind to be able
yeah,
to get the time to work because if you haven't been working on building an audience, then, that's going to take time in itself because sure, maybe your family and friends will buy a couple flip sticks, but like you got to have time to know who to talk to.
yeah,
So you can't go into it with the mindset of I'm going to make $1 million overnight. It's got
yeah.
to be I'm building something long term, I'm building something sustainable. I'm going to try to just get my ROI back first and then move from there. I mean,
Yeah.
you cannot put a time on it. But I would say stick with something for at least 90 days before you decide to pivot because you can't make a judgment call usually within
Mhm.
90 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and honestly, that goes with pretty much anything, even though the landscape of social media changes so, so quickly. And it's like you feel like it changes every single day. I like to give myself, like with content strategies or anything like that, at least 90 days because you're not going to get a really good picture of what's working, what's not working until you give yourself consistency and time. Like you kind of have
Yeah,
to do both.
exactly. Exactly.
Um, oh, this is so good. Okay, so you guys absolutely get yourself into Alyce's Facebook group. It's the Socially Awesome Entrepreneurs group. She is killer with training. She knows everything about social media marketing, branding, all the things, and just you're. It's a free group. Just get your butt in there.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to end with as we sign off today?
No, no, I think this was great. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know you came from Sarah's podcast because she and I collaborate on so many projects. I want to make sure that, we get all your questions answered, but it's definitely been a game changer. And, looking at things long term, so much has happened in a year that, I mean, just picture what your life could look like a year from now. I
Right?
mean, really. A year ago, I was in a cubicle. I made $20 an hour. I worked 45 to 50 hours a week. I was commuting. It was taking forever to commute. Like things can change a lot in a year. So just give yourself grace, give yourself time.
Yeah, if you want something different, you have to do something different.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah,
as simple as that.
exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alyece. I really appreciate you.
Of course.
Bye.
Bye.